guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an email that was sent from a subscriber. And this is all about a guy who's in his, sounds like his late 20s, maybe very early 30s, in the 29 to 31 year old range when this all went down, who, long story short, spent a couple years in a relationship with a escort. And you're going to see here that obviously he let his attraction for her let him fall for her and make a lot of mistakes along the way. And at some point she even tells him that she's in love with him, which made it even worse. It made him more drawn to her. And of course that was ensured that he gave her a lot of business and other financial assistance. A lot of classic mistakes guys make. And I'm doing this, guys, as a perfect example to show you that if you ever get in a situation like this, these girls are for business and business only. That is it. This is not the movies. This isn't Pretty Woman. Okay, you're not Richard Gere and she isn't Julia Roberts, and it's not going to end the way that movie ended because it was a movie. Okay, but a lot of guys, whether it's in a situation like this with an escort or just in life, they fall for a girl and they just completely lose all good judgment and good sense and spend all this money on them, and they get burned. So I'm going through this story. He wanted me to share it to help young guys out to make sure they don't make the same mistakes. And by the way, before I get into this, it's interesting because about 5 or 6 months ago, I did a very similar story about a guy who he was involved with a woman. His wife had passed away, and he was obviously depressed and heartbroken and all that. And he started seeing this young escort who was in college. And it turns out that he saw her something like 250 times. Now, I don't know what the going rate is per hour for an escort these days, because obviously I don't do that type of thing. But that's a lot of money, as you can imagine. And he fell in love with her, and he wanted to know if he should tell her he loves her and blah, blah, blah. And, of course, everybody was like, don't do it. And anyhow, he learned the hard way. But I got to wonder, how often does this happen? So, anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through a story here, offer some advice to help him in getting back on track, because he's trying to get back on track. And any other guys that may ever find themselves in a situation like this, not to make the same mistake this guy does. So, it starts off, hello. First off, I would like to thank you for letting me share my story with you. I really hope this helps any younger men out there. Well, you're welcome, bro, and I hope this story also helps you. And I promise I'll be very direct and brutally honest so that, to help you out, anybody else in this may fall into this situation. I've been watching your videos since mid-last year. They've been a big help for some self-improvement. Thank you. So a little about my past before my story. I became addicted to... I don't want to say this word because YouTube's so picky, but let's just say adult entertainment online when I was around 12 years old. My dad was battling bladder cancer at the time, and adult entertainment was my way of coping, and I eventually became addicted to it. Eventually, I moved up to escorts. I sometimes would visit gentlemen's clubs after I turned 21 and found out that I could get more than just a dance. Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. When you go to the private room, that's when they try to see what else you'd be interested in. For me, this was easier than dating because I was always so nervous trying to date women. I only had a few relationships back in high school. I've only had 4 total relationships. My last one was from around 10 years ago. I met this girl from a chat line number. A chat line number. I always wonder what those women look like, because there's the stereotype that you hear this voice at the end of the phone, and it could be some 400-pound woman that looks like the type of stereotypical Walmart shopper, but I guess she was good looking. We dated for about 6 months. After a breakup, which she initiated, I found out that she was pregnant with twins. Imagine that. That was only a month later. This might be why I still have trust issues. And get this. She asked me to take care of them, and I said sure. Smack. Classic nice guy response. No, those kids are somebody else's problem. They're not your problem, dude. Unfortunately, so many guys, they get dumped, and they hope to get that girl back, So they'll agree to do this type of crap. Oh, could you come over and fix this, or lend me money to get my car fixed, or buy this for me, or buy that for me, watch my kids. And they think maybe if I show I'm such a nice guy, she'll take me back. Well, there's a reason she dumped you in the first place, and there's a reason that she was hooking up with some other dude. Notice the baby daddy isn't taking care of the twins, right? The Chad and Tyrone, he's off probably getting some other girl pregnant. No, don't do that. He says, that was a month later. I lost your number after that and moved on. Okay, you redeemed yourself. Good for you. After finding extras at the strip clubs, I moved up to online escorts like Backpage and other sites. Now to my story. Back in 2015, I met this girl through a website called Melody. We definitely seemed to click. You definitely like your sites. And you seem to click. Well, dude, you have to understand that this is business. So, of course, you're going to click. Of course, she's going to be who she thinks you want her to be, because that will ensure business and repeat business. You must think that. You must understand that, guys. I saw her twice in 1 month, and then she canceled one time when I was on my way to see her. I did not hear back from her until 2019 when I happened to come across her advertisement. I started seeing her again, and I fell for her. Smack. There's going to be a lot of smacks in this video because this guy needs it. And he obviously knows he needs it. You don't fall for those types. She's a professional. That's it. It's business. You getting together, it's business. If you were having fun and you weren't leaving money on the dresser afterwards, then that's something else. But I wouldn't recommend that either. But no, you're seeing her. You don't go following for these types, okay? And if you have a tendency to do so to the guy who wrote this or anybody else, then don't do it, because you're asking for trouble, and you're going to see here what happens. Surprisingly, she was the first one to say, I love you. Uh-oh. That is not what this guy and guys like him need to hear. Bad idea. And this goes to show you what kind of person she is. She's a snake, because she knows darn well, but trust me, she had your number from the first time she met you. She knew what you were like, because there were countless other guys like that, and she knew darn well by saying the I love you thing, boom, the guy's hooked. The guy's hooked, and that means a never-ending supply of business, and not to mention financial assistance when she needed it, and you're about to see that I'm right. He says, I'm very naive when it comes to women, so I believed her. Well, bro, the past is the past. You learn the hard way, but you can always learn from your mistakes. She would disappear from time to time and would always be very secretive. Of course she would be very secretive. And if she's disappearing a lot, she was probably seeing clients all over the place. A lot of these girls, they're obviously making a serious line of work from the ones that are really beautiful. From what I've heard, they tend to go to different cities. They go to a different city, they stay there for a week and line up as many dates, if you want to call them that, as possible. Go back home, probably take a few weeks off, go to another city. That's how it works. Probably how you met her. She was probably traveling about with other clients. And very secretive. Of course she's secretive. But here's the deal, dude. She's not your girlfriend. At no time is there anything that says here that they actually had the talk or anything like that, okay? And even though she's saying that she loves you, I mean, you're obviously young, so don't beat yourself up too much. But you learn the hard way. But it's all business, okay? But there was no relationship here, so you weren't her boyfriend. She goes away again till about when COVID started. I started seeing her more and more. This would cost me a lot of money. Oh, I bet it did. Her car needed to be repaired, and I gave her half my stimulus to help her with that. Smack. What'd I tell you? It wasn't going to just stop there with the appointments or dates. There's going to be other things. And the guys that want to get that girl, they're more than happy to help pay for car repairs, pay for new cars, pay for this, pay for that, in the hopes they get it. Did this guy get her? Did this make her give up that way of life to come be with him? Nope. Not at all. Don't do this, guys. Don't ever give women money. The only time it's okay to buy gifts or give money is if she's your serious girlfriend after a long time, and that you can get her a gift within reason on occasion. But in terms of actually giving money, don't ever do that. Never. if you're married and you have a good marriage and you help because you obviously are married and you're living in the same house together and raising kids and all that, then obviously you can help her within reason. But if it's just a girlfriend, no way. You get gifts, special occasions like maybe your birthday or Valentine's Day, and even then you keep it reasonable, and you don't do that for a while. Okay, a lot of guys get burned that way. Think about all this money he spent, half his stimulus check from the COVID thing and all this other money. Imagine if he kept that money and put it away and invested in a nice growth fund. He'd have a lot more money right now, right? Gotta look at these things, guys. Anyway. Then shortly after, she starts mentioning a guy friend we will call Chad. Oh, okay, so now you're giving her money all this. Now she's mentioning other dudes. What does this say about her and what she thinks about you? Does she see you as a prize? Does she see you as a boyfriend material? Hell no, you're a cash register. And she's mentioning some other dude probably just to see what you do. And in normal relationships, because this wasn't a relationship, when a woman starts mentioning other guys, that's a big sign, guys. That's a sign saying that this is your replacement unless you stop screwing up in her point of view. Or this is some dude she's already hooking up with. She told me that he was just a friend, sure, and did not see him in any other way. When a girl tells you that, do not believe them. I've been telling you that, guys, that since day one. Of course, though, my naive self believed every word. Well, dude, you were obviously in love with her, and a lot of guys, when they fall in love, they put all common sense and reason and logic, and they tuck it away, and they listen, and they go on what they hope, and they hope that she's different, hope that what they know deep down is going on is not true. We've all been there. I haven't made mistakes like this, but I've made mistakes in the past where, I would do things that, I knew darn well, I knew there were red flags, my gut was telling me one thing, but I wouldn't listen to myself, and I learned the hard way. All right, and so now I get to help you guys out by passing on my wisdom, all my screw-ups when I was younger, so that hopefully you don't make these mistakes like I did or guys like this. He says, after all, Chad was in Texas and not a threat. Melody told me. Yeah, he's in Texas, but guess what? He'll probably come see her, or she travels around for business. That's how she knows him. Not long after, Chad was driving all the way from Texas to come see her. See, he's coming to see her. Again, she tells me I have nothing to worry about. Well, again, you're not her boyfriend, okay? And at least there's no mention in this email about an actual talk when you got together, so it really isn't your business. She ended up spending the night with him when he was down here. He says, I live in South Carolina. After that, I told her I was not comfortable with her doing that. You're not her boyfriend. She swore that they did not sleep together. Yeah, sure. They just came to hang out. He drove from all the way from Texas to wherever she's living just so they can sit around and play cards or play Pokemon together. Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. Of course, I believed her. I told her that if anything changed with them or if he visited, that I wanted to know so that I could prepare to move on if need be. She's not your girlfriend. I know I keep saying this, but I got to make that clear. We technically were not dating, see, but she was still taking my money. Dude, right, exactly, okay? You get together for a date, and you're handing over cash, or you're sending some Venmo or PayPal, however the hell this works, or giving her, gift cards, or however these transactions are done. You were giving her money. It was business, nothing more. You were a client. Maybe she thought you were a pleasant client, but that was it. But you were giving her money for her car, okay? Again, I got to be very blunt with you. I got to be blunt, and that way because I'm addressing the guy who wrote me this email, anybody else in a situation or may think about getting in a situation understands what's going on. A month later, I was trying to hang out with her on a Saturday. At the time, I was working crazy hours and hardly had any free time, and she said she was busy. I overheard a guy talking in the background. I asked who it was. She told me to mind my business. Well, it wasn't your business because you are a customer. I asked her if she was working again. She told me to mind my own business. She hung up on me and I started blowing up her phone. Dude, don't do that. Never do that. First of all, she wasn't your girlfriend. But second of all, even if she was your girlfriend and she hung up on you, don't be that guy. Because you chasing after her, no, don't do that. Girl treats you that kind of disrespect if it was your girlfriend, which she was not. You walk away. You let her track you down. If somebody kicks you to the curb like she did, you don't chase after her. And not to mention the fact in today's world where pretty much if a woman says a guy's harassing her, he's pretty much screwed. She could use all you blowing up her phone as an excuse to get you in trouble. You don't need that. All over someone that was just business. I eventually put two and two together and knew she was with Charles. I found him on Facebook and told him that Melody was a pro. Even with proof, he did not believe me. I sent him ads of her. Melody was a master manipulator. She easily had him fooled like she had me. Well, I wondered, did he think it was just some girl that he met online, and she obviously manipulated him into giving her money and all that? Or did she? I wonder if she told him that she loved him, probably, because she probably, did these tricks work? I gotta wonder. She easily had fooled him like she'd fooled me. She was pretty mad. My dumb self still thought an ultimatum was a great idea. Dude, she can replace you in a heartbeat. If she's young, she's hot, she can replace your customer. He says, she of course chose him. I can be very petty sometimes. I did try to get back at her. I set up a fake number and tried to get her to go to a fake address very early this year. She didn't fall for it. After that, I erased all numbers and social media presence. Good. Move the hell on. He says, now he finishes up saying, I'm currently trying to better myself. I found a decent job this January. The pay is okay, and I'm currently studying for my CDL. The job I work at also has a program where if you work there for a year, they will pay you for your schooling program. Awesome, dude. That's great. If you can, what you're putting into for the getting your license for the CDL, and they cover it, that's great. So currently, I'm studying for my CDL and trying to build up a nest egg. I would like to thank you again for your content. It really has helped me out. I do apologize if this was all over the place. I haven't written anything since I was in high school back in 2008. Thank you for letting me share my story. Well, thank you, bro. It was a good story. And like I said before, learn from it. What's done is done. You can't change the past, okay? But learn from it. Now, again, like I said early on, think about all the money you could have saved if you didn't hire her for her services and loan her money to fix her car. And there's probably other instances. If you took that money and put it away and invested it like in a growth fund, you'd have a nice chunk of change because Lord knows how much money you spent on her over a couple years. So what I want you to do now is keep doing what you're doing. You're working for this company. Sounds like they're a good one because they're going to cover your expenses for this exam for the trucking license. So study your ass off. Make sure you pass this thing. And from this point on, it's January 24th, 2021. From this point on, you are banned from women for 1 year. 1 year, no women. Okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to focus on, like you said, building your nest egg. I want you to save money. Okay? If you have any credit card debt right now, whatever extra savings after your monthly expenses, I want you to pay those cards off right now. You do not need to rack up interest and penalties and shit on those things. Okay? So pay off those credit cards right now. And if you have a car loan or whatever, unless you have a very low interest rate, I want you to get rid of that expense too. But after that, your debts are paid, I want you to put away money, bro. I want you to live, I don't want to say cheap for the next year, but I want to say very frugal. Okay? I want you to minimize money you spend on bullshit. I want you to minimize money you spend going out to eat or takeout. Learn to cook. Go to the grocery store, get stuff, and learn to cook. If you don't know how to cook anything, ask your mom or anybody else in your family to help you out, or go on YouTube and learn how to cook stuff. You'll save a fortune on every month if you. I know you're a young guy, so I'm going to assume you probably eat out a lot or do takeout. Get stuff from the store. Learn to cook. You'll save a fortune, okay? And find other areas in your life to look at your budget and streamline it and save as much money as you can. Put the money, again, that money you put away, take care of any of those debts you have, okay? And then take that extra money and build up an emergency fund, because everybody's got to have an emergency fund, and it can be argued it could be 6 months worth of expenses, it could be 9 months worth of expenses. It all depends on your situation. You figure out what works best for you. If your employer offers a 401k plan, take advantage of it, okay? That means obviously a certain percentage of your income will go to that 401k. This is for retirement. And oftentimes if you put a certain amount away, your employer will match it with a certain amount as well. Free money, so take it. And invest in a way that you're comfortable with. But the best way to go about it is, since you're young, because you can't take that out until retirement, is obviously something more aggressive in growth funds, the big companies. Now, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Make this clear. So this is all entertainment. Don't blame me if you do make investments and it doesn't go the way you want. But you know what I'm getting at here. Invest the money in something you're comfortable with, and any money you can't put away in the 401k or a Roth if your employer doesn't offer a 401k. Other than that, open a brokerage account and invest in some good funds, what you're comfortable with, and let that money grow, okay? Think long term, okay? And then I want you to, after a year from now, at that point, and no more of these escorts. No, you can't be trusted with escorts. If after a year of grinding with your job and saving money and letting it grow, I want you to keep saving money, but then you can enjoy yourself a little bit. And then what I want you to do is just find ways to just keep moving up in the world, all right? And you'll be fine. Now, if indeed you want a woman in your life, it's your business, you know, I wouldn't go down the path you've gone before. However, if you only had a few relationships in your life, and one was a phone chat girl, I'd avoid those two. If you're rusty, wherever you go, start talking to women. Anywhere. The grocery store, the bank, anywhere. And just strike up conversations. Chat with ones that you're not even attracted to just so you can get comfortable. And then just practice, and eventually you can start dating. But for 1 year, no women. I want you to grind, save that money. And then in 1 year, on June 24th, 2022, if I'm still here on YouTube, and YouTube hasn't banned me, because, you know, some people think I'm the devil. If they haven't banned me, I want you to email me and tell me how you're doing. I want to know that you've saved a bunch of money and your life's going awesome and you're doing well for yourself, okay? That's what I want to hear. So, but thanks for the email, man. I appreciate it. And you're going to help some people. It's definitely good to hear and entertaining as well. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.